On behalf of the Phil Society, DUDJ and the Phil Senior Patron Provost Patrick Prendergast and Trinity College Dublin, thank you so much for joining us to welcome the Society's newest recipient of the Gold Medal of Honorary Patronage, Peggy Gou. Every year the Council and members of the Phil elect a select number of exceptional individuals to the honour of Honorary Patronage in recognition of their significant contributions to their given fields. Peggy Gou is a renowned DJ and producer. She was born and raised in South Korea before spending several years in London studying at the London College of Fashion. She switched her focus to music and currently works as a DJ in Berlin. Peggy Gou made her recording debut in January of 2016 on Radio Slay's Re-Kids label with The Art of War Part 1. She soon followed that first release with The Day Before Yesterday 606 for Phonica White, the vinyl-only label of the internationally renowned London record store. During this period, her DJ booking skyrocketed with a debut at Berlin Institution Berghain. With this debut, Peggy Gou achieved her goal as being the youngest and first female Korean DJ to perform there. She also supported Moody Man at his DJ Kicks album launch and gigs alongside the Black Madonna, Jackmaster and DJ Cozy before the end of the year. She made huge waves as a producer with her track Goo Top, and her fourth EP, Seek for Maktub, cemented her position as one of electronic music's hottest new stars, with enthusiastic support from international media. It Makes You Forget, Peggy Gou's track from her latest EP, Once, is the first time she's sung on one of her records. It was inspired by the rush of mind-cleansing emotions she experiences when creating music. In March of this year, Peggy Gou was announced as the flagship speaker of BudX Soul, the latest in a new music workshop series from Budweiser and Boiler Room. The event was centred around giving aspiring artists real, intimate access to renowned artists who have pioneered contemporary electronic music. Spending the entire summer touring, she's built up a huge international following and is now known for her eclectic style as a DJ, moving from acid to techno to space electro to disco funk with ease and keeping the dance floor guessing. We're delighted to be hosting this event in association with DUDJ, and as such I invite the chair, Tycho Vietnam, to say a few words.
I just want to say on behalf of everyone in DUDJ that this is like such a massive privilege for us to be
Oh my god. Would you like to take another picture with medal?
Of course. Do I have to?
No. It's a massive privilege for us to be able to work with bigger societies like the Phil, to like bring over guests who are like obviously massive inspirations to like DJs who are part of the DJ Society, DUDJ, who like we're trying to do gigs, trying to learn how to be better, and it's great to have people who are like massive examples of what you can achieve within like this field, and like within the craft and what we view as an art form. And it's just really exceptional to have exceptional people like Peggy here tonight to talk to us and have a chat and have a buzz. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the time.
So I just wanted to start off by saying thanks so much again for being here tonight, Peggy. It means so much to so many of us here. Especially after you flying in just after your gig last night in Ibiza for Circo Loco. I just wanted to start off by asking you how it went last night.
Before I talk about last night, thank you so much for coming here. It means a lot to me. Can you hear me in the back? Very well. Yeah, so I flew from Ibiza yesterday, and it was a Circo Loco closing party, and it was crazy. And a lot of people, I asked them to bring me gin tonic on my first track, and they brought me on my last track. That's how crazy it was. And yeah, it was great.
So, Peggy, you don't have any gigs coming up until Saturday, where you're playing in Printworks in London. So, I mean, lately, what have you been getting up to, like?
I mean, I was touring. I think this is very formal. I mean, I've been touring a lot, and And before this Saturday gig in London coming up, I'm going London tomorrow to record my BBC residency radio show. And also I'm part of this Smirnov campaign. It's like a gender equality campaign. It's about mentoring, like more female DJs. And I'm doing that tomorrow, mentoring 2 female DJs. And we are playing together on Saturday. So I'm excited about that.
And just to like go back to how it all began for you, I think we'd all love to know more about what first kicked off like your move from South Korea to London.
I moved to London when I was 14, and I was not doing really well in Korea, and I was not a good kid. And my parents were like, "Oh, this girl has no future in Korea, so you need to go to London to study English at least." And this is why I moved to London. I went to school in Croydon to do GCSE and A-level. And but I changed my guardian like 3 times, and they were like, every year they were like, we can't deal with this kid anymore. So after 3 years, my parents was like, stop making everyone's life difficult, come back to Korea. So I went back to Korea when I was about 19, and I tried to go to school in Korea, but it was just not possible because they were studying like 17 hours a day. Yeah, so I was like, not for me. So I told my parents I would love to go back to London, and they said, if you prove me, we will send you. So I started preparing my portfolio on my own. I used to draw a lot, so I sent my application to London College of Fashion University, and I got into foundation degrees. And this is what I went back in 2011.
Yeah.
Carry on, maybe.
So like obviously when you then first went into London, that was sort of in your formative years. You're in your 20s. That's when most people start going out clubbing and experiencing nightlife. Was there like a moment when you were in London that there was like a party or a DJ that you saw that really solidified as like, this dance music is for me?
Yeah, because growing up in Korea, I was used to listen to all this EDM music, and when I came to London, I started going out with my college friends, and first time I heard deep house music, tech house, all this music, and I never, from girl from Korea, I never really got a chance to listen to that kind of music in Korea. So I was like, wow, I really enjoyed this, and I was going out every weekend. And through that, I met people who does party and DJs, and through that, I got my first gig, and we started doing parties together, throwing parties together. And yeah, this is how I got into this DJing thing, probably early 2012. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I was going out every weekend.
And like in the initial stages of your career, did you find it particularly challenging to like get recognition or like making a name for yourself as a DJ?
Yeah, but at the same time, when I realized that this DJing thing and production and this club night was like, when I was really into it, I wanted to get into more. So I started sending CVs to like record store and also send a CV to labels. I never got a reply. But but at the same time, I was lucky. Like through going out, one time I met this guy at the club called Corsica Studio. We became Facebook friends, and he saw that I was collecting vinyls now as a hobby. So he texted me on Facebook saying, hey, I see that you're collecting records. It doesn't look like it's a hobby. Are you interested in learning production too? And I was like, sure. So I went to see him, and this is how I got into production. And I realized I was so into this, so I didn't go to university. I was going to studio instead. So I failed the course. But my parents actually didn't let me come back if I don't pass this. But that's when I realized, oh my God, this is what I want to do. Because in fashion school, I thought I wanted to be a stylist. Then I realized I love styling myself, and I thought I would be good at it. But I realized styling other people is a different story. And 1, I don't enjoy. 2, I suck. So I realized this is not for me. So that was the perfect timing, because I was wondering, what am I going to do next? And then that's when I discovered about DJing and production. Yeah, it came like that.
And then once you were firmly in the DJ scene in London, what motivated you to move to Berlin? Was it when you started to like properly make a name for yourself? Was there a moment where you're like, okay, I can make a career out of this?
It's not, I mean, as soon as I realized that this was what I wanted to do, I wanted to upgrade this. I wanted to learn more about it. But in London, I was student, so the reason why I was in London was to go to university. Mm-hmm. But after, when I finished the course, I had no reason to stay there anymore. But I wanted to do music. And before I moved to Berlin, I tried to visit Berlin several times, and I loved it. And I was going Berghain and meeting some friends, and I was like, this is right place for me to try to move. So I moved there in 2013. And first 2 years I used to work at the record store, and I was making music at home and going Berghain every Sunday was pretty much my 2 years of Berlin, and that really upgraded me. I learned so much through record store and learning so many labels and new artists, and going out. I met so many people. And before I moved to Berlin, I was more like house music. I didn't understand techno very well, so I don't know if you know Berghain, there's a Panorama bar in Berghain, and I was always upstairs, more house music and disco. I never really went downstairs, but like first week I went there, I'm like, it's not for me. And 3 weeks later, I'm like, okay. And then 5 weeks later, I'm slowly getting, I get it, So Berlin changed my taste, and it kind of upgraded me. I got to know more musics and more genre, more artists. Yeah. And I think it was a great choice for me to move there.
And I was at your gig in District 8 last year, and just the crowd was absolutely amazing. Like the energy, you seem to be able to just bring it out of the crowd like no one else. I'm
not saying this because I'm in Dublin, but whenever I get a request, I'm just like 100%. Because the crowd here is like, it gives me the energy, it gives me the energy. I'm like, okay, I can do whatever I want, like music-wise. They enjoy it so much, and that's all about it. If I feel like I'm doing okay, but if I don't get the energy back, I do feel like sometimes in the DJ booth feel insecure about it. But if the crowd is going crazy, I enjoy it. And it's about that, I'm trying to have good time for myself, but I'm trying to also give crowd, I'm trying to make the crowd having good time, and Dublin is just like, it's here.
And I've seen you 5 times in like the last year. I just want to say that when I saw you play in Wigram, you said that was the sweetest gig ever.
Oh my God.
But still, you were playing like Larry Levan edits, and you were playing like old Chicago house and like disco edits. And then when I saw you in District 8, you were playing like slam and fiac and absolutely banging it out. I just want to say, is it really important for you that you differentiate yourself and you bring something new to the table every time you DJ in the same city or
That's
elsewhere?
what I'm trying. Even if for me, it's not just the DJing, like even the style that I dress up, I don't want to be like one style, but even music, I think it's important to be different. Eclectic, because like I said, I'm trying to have a good time and trying to make sure the other crowd is having a good time. And for me, the same thing is not having a good time, if that makes sense. And Wigwam is a different place. In District 8, I was playing in the last slot, and it also depends on that too, depends on who you play to. And I remember very first gig in District 8, I played 2 times. First time I was playing very beginning, and I was playing more house music, and people start coming in. But that last gig that you went was the last slot. And I wasn't gonna play like that, but I saw the crowd was going good. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go harder, Yeah.
Just touching on like your gigs, is there one that sticks out in your memory as like your favorite gig you've ever played?
That's a very difficult question for me, because it's really different. Yeah. But this year?
Yeah.
I actually loved India. I played a bungalow. It was amazing. People were dancing in 40 degrees outside, and I really enjoyed it. And Lost Village Festival, Dimension, and also EP Island. Yes. I'm not saying this because I'm in Dublin. I'm saying this because I mean it.
Yeah. I was saying, when you listen to your DJ sets and listening into your productions as well, you can obviously tell there's a huge influence from records from Chicago and Detroit. And were there any particular records that you just hold dear to your heart and they've been massive inspirations for you in both your DJ sets and your productions?
When I did this talk in Boiler Room, I had a CDJ here, so I could actually play some songs. But here, rather than talking about records, I can maybe mention about a few artists that I got inspired by. A lot of people are from Detroit, but it's not just from Detroit. A German producer to Japanese producer. I really like Marius Photon, Ron Trend, Moody Man, and the artist that I really got into this music, I mentioned this, it's Roman Flugel, and my friend from Berlin gave me this CD, I still remember, it's Fatty Folder album, and when I heard this music, I was like, what is this? So I remember that day, I went on the internet, Google every music from this guy, and then that was a huge inspiration for me. Yeah, he's from Germany.
We know that you were asked to give the flagship lecture at the Budexo music program.
Pardon?
And you were asked to give the
Boiler
flagship
Room.
lecture and at that music program. And do you find it important to pass on like the skills that you've learned over the years to other artists that are up and coming like that?
The community, yeah. Most of the DJ that I admire and respect, it seems like they support each other, you know, and I think it's very important. My secret talent is I'm very good at asking. You know, like asking advice, I have a mentor. I remember when I made the first track, I used to send it to so many people, like to get advice and to get feedback. And I think it's important to share because in the end, I can also understand there's a competitions too. And I think that makes you having some aims as well. But in the end, when you share, I don't want to end up in, you know, like, if you don't share, it's about sharing. It's really about sharing. Music is about sharing. I don't just do this on my own because I don't want to end up, you know, you become, without sharing, I will feel like I'm alone, if that makes sense. So maybe you're going forward, but when you look back, there's nothing, you know what I mean? And that's why I think sharing is important, if that makes sense.
So one thing that you were saying, you were bringing up that you were playing in India, like you've literally played, I'd say there's more countries that you've played in than you haven't played in, and like it's interesting there for people who don't know. There's this website called Resident Advisor that lists all the artist gigs and also has all the past gigs. And if you go into the past gig section, it shows there are like 50 last gigs. And for most DJs, you're able to go back and it's like a year and a half, whatever. And it shows their 50 last gigs they played. With Peggy, it ends in July. So she's played 50 gigs since July. And like, on top of her doing the DJing, she's also making tunes. And she was like, what was it? You were in London Fashion Week there for, Paris Fashion Week for Louis Vuitton there.
And also London.
Like you've such a hectic routine. And I just want to know, how do you do it? Like,
I know, that's a question that I'm also asking. I'm sometimes thinking like, wow, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Sometimes I'm still young and I think I can do this and I have a right energy for it. And I think it's the moment, you know, maybe after 3 years, maybe I don't tour like this or maybe I might not even tour that much. But at the moment, this is what I want to do and this gives, that I'm choosing things that I want to do and it's you know, how to say, everything that I do makes me happy at the moment. So I'm not trying to, of course, it's a bit tiring and I think it's important to having time off as well. So I'm taking January and February off so I can focus more on music. I'm trying to learn this Korean instrument. But I love traveling. I love meeting new people. Yeah, I think I was born to do this, basically.
I know you have your upcoming label as well and your own fashion line coming up as well.
Yeah.
And so what can we expect next from you in regards to that?
Actually, it was supposed to be a secret, but it's not anymore. I want to do my own label because in the end, I want to have a control of my music and I also want to decide which artists that I want to support. And hopefully it will be launched this year, otherwise next year. And the fashion label thing is coming next year, hopefully. It's in process. I feel like you were expecting a little bit more answer from that.
Actually, one question I was wondering about was Did production come long after you started DJing?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
was it gradual or?
No, I've through DJing, like partying and stuff. This is how I met this guy who was giving me a lesson. He used to work for Ableton,
Yeah.
so I was more DJing first, and then production came like 2 years after.
Okay, yeah.
So we open up to the floor.
Yeah, we might get a few questions from the floor.
Sure. It's like right there.
You were saying a lot about artists that inspiring you, like starting off.
Pardon?
You were talking like about artists that inspiring you, like starting off. I just kind of wanted, or like just going through your career, and I just wanted to ask, like, what new artists are inspiring you, or who you think is like the next?
Oh, the new artist. Maybe new artist doesn't mean like new upcoming. For me, new artist can be somebody that I just discovered recently, and if I be really honest with you, most of my inspiration from opposite to new artists. I haven't discovered that many new artists recently, I must say. Yeah. Sorry.
You spoke a bit about like your past and like living inside Korea and your parents and stuff. And I was curious, how did they react to sending you to London to learn English and you could basically bring back a DJ?
Oh my God.
And how have you explained like what even it is?
Exactly. They were like, you wanted to do fashion and now you want to do music. What's next? So they thought I was keep on changing it. And because when I was at university, I had no money, so it was them who was supporting me. So when I told them I want to go to Berlin, they were like, for what? You know, they didn't understand. And when I started teaching, they still didn't understand. They were like, why do you have to go out at night and come at 5 a.m.? What are you exactly doing, you know? But, you know, even though there was up and down, they never really stopped me doing what I want to. So and I really appreciate that, because for me, I personally believe that it's quite rare in Asian country, and they are still conservative, you know. I think they wanted me to be a doctor. It's like, no. Yeah, sure.
You said you're learning a Korean instrument. Are you going to try and put that into your production?
Yes. That was also supposed to be a secret, but yeah, I'm learning this instrument called kayagum. It's a big string. And another word in Chinese, and they call it koto, and it's a string that you play like this. And I'm learning this in Berlin. I found a teacher, and because in the future I'm planning to do an album. When I do an album, I want to do a live set, but I don't want to do this boring controller Ableton live set. I want to have a proper synthesizer, microphone, maybe drum machine, and also real instrument. I want to do that, and it will take time, but it's coming.
Sorry, you mentioned it briefly earlier. I'm just wondering, what advice would you give to people, I guess, like us, who are maybe some of us are trying to kind of get into the music industry, or the business, or DJing and stuff? And what advice would you give to someone who's made a career out of it too?
I don't know if I'm in the right place to give a really advice, but I can say that for me, I don't think that opportunity came to me like this. I was the one who emailed people, can I work at the store? Can I try to get a job? Can I learn something from the label? You don't have to pay me. I never really got a reply, but I still kept on trying. And going out, you meet people. Through these people, you met the other people. And yeah, I guess it's yourself who needs to be out there. My first music got rejected on the labels. It doesn't happen like that, you know. I sent it to these people and that people. I never got a reply. My WeTransfer was expired. Like, you know, like, so you need to keep on trying, I guess. I know it sounds a bit obvious, but that's all I can say. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did you ever get rejected from Berghain?
Thing is, I don't know how this sounds, but I don't like queuing. So I somehow knew a DJ there, so I always asked, and then I wouldn't, because I don't like 3 hours on like being nervous. Oh my God, am I gonna get in today or not? So I only went there when I managed the guest list. Yeah. You can. Yeah.
What's the music scene like in South
good question. Actually, it's growing very fast. I was very surprised. Every time I go to Korea, there's more. There's new club. There's new techno club. There's new house music club. There's more festival, and I see more techno house DJs are going Korea to play. The scene is changing, and I want to be part of it too. And there are a lot of new upcoming Korean producers and DJs too. There are really many amazing local DJs and producers, and hopefully I can also help them out too. Yeah.
Did it make you nervous to put your own vocals on your tracks?
100%. I was so nervous. I was really nervous. I tried to give it to some people, but I was nervous is because, okay, I'll tell you. I used to wanted to be a singer when I was really, really young. There was one time I was in the contest, and there was like 1,000 people, and not 1,000, about 300 people, and I got into top 10. And when I was on the stage, my voice went. I lost my voice. So I remember I was crying in front of so many people, and after that I'm like, I'm not gonna sing ever again, you know. But after learning production, I was like, maybe it's time for me to bring my voice, you know. So I tried it, and I tried to before this music was out. My last EP was out. I tried in English. But then I was like, why not Korean? I know it might not sound right. So many thoughts came to my mind. What is this people gonna think about my voice? Or how does Korean sound to them? You know, I was a bit nervous, but you don't know if you don't try. So, yeah. But I did send it to many producers and friends before this was out to hear the feedback. Yeah. And actually, I got supported from unexpected. Pardon?
What did the lyrics actually mean?
It's very difficult to translate, but it's long story to show because, for example, the first sentence is like, "I surrender in blue air." You know, it also very hard to translate because it only makes sense in Korean and it's quite poetry. And but what the message behind is that we all have some moment that we want to forget. But for me, it's like the music moment. You know, when I do music or when I'm DJing, when I'm connecting with a crowd, that's the moment that I'm forgetting about something that I want to forget. You know, it makes you forget, basically. I don't think I'm very good at explaining.
Where do you keep all your drafts?
Where?
Where do you keep all your drafts?
Where? The giraffe. It's all in my laptop. Giraffes. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying giraffes. Oh my God! It's all in my house, and I have almost like 200 of them. And every time I have a friend who is pregnant or getting born, I'm slowly giving them as a present. You know, like it doesn't matter if it's a boy or girl, it works. You know, yeah, it's there. It's at home. I have like 2-meter one as well.
So I was going to ask if you're going to do a live set, but I'm just wondering if we can expect your vocals incorporated into it and more productions with vocals also coming up.
Yes, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying, and I think after this EP, I would like to do that more. I wouldn't say that I found my signature sound, but through trying different style, I felt like I found something that, how do you say this? It's not signature sound, but the sound that I want to make it. When you hear it, it's Peggy Gou's music, you know. Mm-hmm. So I want to put more vocals in there. When I have a time off in January and February, I'm thinking about doing the vocal training as well. So many questions.
I think for like a lot of us that have like been clubbing a lot, there are some nights that you feel like a transcendency or like a magic about the night. From all your gigs, you do 200. Do you still feel that when you're DJing, or does it wear out at all?
I still feel butterflies every gig. I get nervous, and some DJ friends are like, "Oh, come on, you're not." But I really do, and I always still pray every gig, and. Yeah, and I think I would say that my aim is not to lose this butterfly, because once you lose this, it means you don't really care. So I'm enjoying this feeling, and I get butterflies, and is that what?
Yeah.
As someone who's planning to launch a label in the near future, what's your opinion on kind of Spotify? How would you approach that?
Spotify?
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm not really a Spotify person. Yeah, I listen to music more on YouTube than iTunes, so I can't really answer that question.
Just outside of dance music and Latin music, any particular genres or artists you kind of like you wouldn't really play in club?
I'm very hip hop person. I grew up in hip hop and. Sorry, what was the question again? Yeah, when I'm at home, I don't listen to dance music. I listen to more chill out song, reggae as well. But I would say if I have to choose another genre beside this, hip hop.
Where would you say has the best scene?
Best scene?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't say this because yeah, good question. But in music wise, I guess I would still say. Berlin is still good, and I actually, the place that I was surprised by recently that I played was Scandinavia, and I think Asia is also growing quite fast. Yeah.
What's your opinion on videoing and recording DJ sets? Do you think it takes away from the magic, or do you think it's a good tool to share music?
The thing is, I can understand that it can be too much, but I love photos. I love videos too. And then these days, the social media is quite important these days. And I can understand that it can be a little bit too much, like on the face or flash. I'm not so fan of that too. But I guess I can also understand that people want to capture the moment that I was here, I went to see this DJ. So it's half-half, yeah. Pardon? No, but I like Bicep guys. Bicep, they're from Ireland, no? Yeah, I like their production a lot.
Yeah.
Will your fashion label have a men's?
I'm trying. I'm gonna do it, but it will start with Womenswear. But in the slowly, I want to make it clothes that where a man can wear as well, unisex. It's about that these days, right? Like gender.
Do you have any favorite female DJs?
I really like Helena Hoff, and there are a lot of good female DJs. And actually, I just discovered another female DJ at Dimension Festival. I didn't know who she was. Her name was Josie Revel. Josie Revel. Yeah, she was really good. I was like dancing like 1 hour. I was like, "What's your name?" And I had to ask her name, and I put it on my memo. Yeah.
Do you feel like your experience going to nightclubs and festivals has changed since becoming more well known?
Pardon?
Do you find that like your experience going to a nightclub or Dimensions as a festival as an actual like concert goer has changed since you've become well known on the music scene? Like, would you be bothered by a lot of people if you wanted to go enjoy yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where I go. You know, like some place I do go out still if I have a weekend off, but like festival, I think festival it can be more. I go out not staying in the backstage, but clubs sometimes it's difficult. And also there's a club that no photos allowed or something like this. And, you know, I try to go to Berkheim. I remember I even changed my flight to go see Harvey playing downstairs. And, you know, like I do that. I try to do that like whenever I don't have a gig. Because, you know, it's important to go and see other DJs and you learn from there. Yeah, Berkheim was my school.
In terms of fashion, who inspires you most?
I did get questioned like this sometime on the interview saying, oh, who's your favorite fashion news or something, but I can't really say, you know, everyone's different, but I can say that I admire some brands, you know, like Acne Studio, I love the brand, and Celine also, but I also like streetwear. Yeah. Yeah.
I just, obviously you have a lot of tattoos and you don't like try and hide your tattoos, but like, you know, you come from in private places, but
In Korea, well, it's legal to have it outside, but everyone has it like on the basement, and they don't. Nothing says tattoo, you know. But there are so many people in Korea has tattoo now. It's becoming more open-minded. Before I still can't go to one of my cousin's house because great grandma, grandma, and granddad doesn't allow this. Because in Korea we believe that what your parents gave you, you shouldn't put any tattoo. You know, you should just cherish it. But now it's a bit different. I think I see every time I go to Korea, there are more people having tattoo. But it is true, it's illegal. You cannot have tattoo on the outside.
Who has the most interesting personality of any DJ you've ever met?
I want. It's not really about venue, but there are some countries that I haven't been. For example, next year I wanted to go to. I've been there, but I haven't seen. I want to go back. It's also Brazil. I want to go there again. I haven't been many South America, and that's another place I want to go. And also some Asia, like I haven't been to Vietnam. Yeah.
How are you finding hosting your own BBC show?
BBC? I mean, it's scary, but it's something I always wanted to do. I like sharing, and it's a great platform for me to share not just the dance music, but other different music that I'm into, and hopefully that people will listen to it. I like to introduce new artists or artists that I like, producers that I like, and it's a great platform for that. It's like 1 hour of just music that I chose and a little bit of explanation. And I always wanted to do the radio show, and I was lucky enough to get this residency. And the next one tomorrow, I'm planning to do like chill out mix, like home listening set. Every mix I'm trying to do is something different.
How do you like playing for an Irish crowd?
I told you earlier, Dublin is just crazy for me. Like the crowds give me, even the word Dublin, like the crowds give me really good energy. So I just heard the news that District 8 is closing in January. So when she told me this, I immediately wrote to my agent, please try to give me this gig before it's closing, you know. So hopefully I can come back before it's closed. And hopefully to see all of you there. Okay, so star sign is a Cancer. How do I find music? I get promos a lot, but I'm not so into. I like through record store. You learn. I find some new artists, but online, my friend or the label that I know send it to me, and some of them I'm on the promo list, so I don't go and check because too many, and I guess I only dig with like the labels that I'm into, or like somebody introduced me someone, and when I discover one artist, I try to find every different music from this artist, like that.
Any other questions? No?
She asked me like 5 questions. Yeah, I said you asked me 5 questions already. No, but
I'm just interested as to whether you prefer like a big open air gig like a festival or something more intimate like the Wigwam basement.
I'm still a more club person. I like to be when the DJ booth's on the same floor. I don't like, because I like connecting with crowd, and I really love connecting with my crowd. And for me, festival there are more people, but it's like DJ booth is quite far away, and it's even like higher. I feel less connected. So I enjoy more club, like.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Why do you talk here?
Yeah, I mean, why am I here?
Very happy.
I mean, when I got this,
How's this arranged?
like I said, I was explaining, when I got an email from you, I thought it was a joke. Even my agent was like, Peggy, I got an email and I think it's a prank. And I was like, let me read. It's totally a joke. And this is what I thought. And then so my agent replied, and then I was so surprised by, because how many? 334. And then I saw the list, like Oscar Wilde, Al Pacino, all these big legends, and here I am. I'm like, do I have a right to be here? You know. But I'm so happy that it wasn't a joke, and happy to be here.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
At your experience, you'll know that, like, obviously some people take their shoes off as they take a shoe. When did that start?
I still want to know why they're doing this. It's like a mystery. This happened in Glastonbury, and then I was teaching, and then people start having shoes, and they start calling Peggy shoe, Peggy chew, Peggy who, Peggy, and I was like, there was a DJ that was playing with me, and I was like, Arthur, why is this happening? And they were like, I've been to Glastonbury so many, I've never seen something like this. I don't know. And they said, shoe is only, I thought they were doing that because they didn't know my name. And then he said, maybe shoe is only close to Gou, which for me it doesn't really make sense. And some people said that in Australia, when DJ play peak time, apparently they do this. So I got a different reason. I still don't know why they started, but apparently it became my thing, and it doesn't end.
What's it in a crowd that you look for, and like from different countries, does it differ the way people interact?
I can't hear him.
Saying the crowds, are they much different when you go to different countries?
Yeah. Like, for example, more UK crowd is really good, but more you go north, like Belfast, like they're crazy. Like in Italy, like in a very good way, and also Italian crowd is crazy. A different crowd in a different city. Like I said, I was very surprised, and even though I recently played in my own country, Korea, and I have not expected that, because I was like, they are not used to listen to a lot of house and techno music, but the crowd was really good. Yeah, it's different crowd in every different country.
So you spoke earlier that being persistent with one become DJ.
Well, I don't hear it.
If he sends you a mix, will you listen to it?
Huh?
It says, if he sends you a mix, will you listen to it?
Yes, yeah, but but I'm like, do I really need to be honest? Okay, maybe is this gonna end? Joking.
You're saying that there was like not really much of an underground scene in South Korea before you left. How are you viewed there now? Like, are you like a celebrity or anything like that, or do people know you?
The thing is, before I was DJ, I was also more into getting involved in fashion scene in Korea, and I used to do this Korean TV. It's about holding the camera. I just basically take camera everywhere I go and just filming myself. And I send the video, and they like edited, and it was always on the TV. And I used to even call myself Peggy Gou. And when I was into more music DJ, I still wanted to keep my name, but wanted to have a little bit of different names. So I'm like, maybe I take off LD, because Gou also sounds more Asian too. So, yeah, and in Korea is now they know me more as a DJ. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to wrap it up there. Thanks everyone.
I just want to say that thank you so much for coming, and I hope I was useful.